Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. Right now where I am, it is the morning here in Tokyo, Friday, May 12th, 2023, and I have just seen the Criterion Collection website where it has some very interesting news today. News that on its website is dated May 11th, 2023. And it states Criterion presents Janus Contemporaries. And so if it's okay with you, let me share with you what this news is, and also just share with you my reaction and comments with regard to this, initial reaction and comments, of course, with regard to this very interesting and exciting great news, I think, from the Criterion Collection. If you want more information, my strong suggestion is please check out the Criterion Collection website directly, and I'll leave a link to the website in the description box below. But without further ado, my dear friends, let us take a look at what the Criterion Collection has announced on this occasion. The website states, Criterion presents Janus Contemporaries, FYI, May 11th, 2023. And it states, starting this fall, Criterion will proudly join Janus Films in presenting Janus Contemporaries, a new line of home video editions of first-run releases, fresh from theaters, following their streaming premieres on the Criterion channel. Kicking off with Jerzy Skolimowski's Cannes Jury Prize winner and Academy Award nominee, Ale, the 2023 slate of the Janus Contemporaries line will feature Jafar Panahi's No Bears, Louis Garrel's The Innocent, Hlynur Pálmason's Godland, Jean-Pierre and Luc Dardenne Tori and Lokita, and Felix van Groningen and Charlotte Vandermeer's The Eight Mountains. The Blu-ray and DVD editions will include new interviews with the filmmakers produced by Criterion, as part of the Criterion Channel series, Meet the Filmmakers, and will retail for $29.95 Blu-ray and $24.95 DVD. Known for more than 65 years as the premier U.S. distributor of international art house cinema, Janus is home to many of the greatest movies ever made, from such vaunted masters as Chantal Akerman, Michelangelo Antonioni, Ingmar Bergman, Jean Cocteau, the Coen brothers, Federico Fellini, Jean-Luc Godard, Akira Kurosawa, David Lynch, Yasujiro Ozu, Satyajit Ray, Ousmane Sembène, François Truffaut, Melvin Van Peebles, Agnes Varda, Wim Wenders, and Wong Kar-wai. Last year, when Sight and Sound revealed the results of its once-a-decade poll, the critics and directors list of the top 100 films of all time each included more than 50 entries from the Janus library. After premiering many key works by Antonioni, Bergman, and Fellini in the 1960s, Janus largely stepped away from first-run theatrical distribution. Following the release of Kurosawa's Dodeskaden, 1970, the company focused on theatrical runs of restored classics from its library until 2009, when it distributed Götz Spielmann's Revenge. Over the past decade, Janus has released a steady stream of celebrated art house hits, including Academy Award winners like Paolo Sorrentino's The Great Beauty and Yusuke Hamaguchi's Drive My Car, which marked the start of Janus's landmark partnership with bespoke theatrical specialist Sideshow, with a more robust first-run lineup than it has had since the 1960s, and powerful partnerships with theatrical specialists Sideshow and the Criterion Channel streaming service. Janus is uniquely well-positioned to bring the best films from around the world to theaters and homes across North America. The launch of Janus Contemporaries completes that picture. So, and then we have more information, the logo and the font that's used here. And then scrolling down, we can see also the poster art and descriptions for each of the films. That's going to be part of this initial slate of releases. Again, according to the website, it's going to be later this year. Very interesting indeed. Starting this fall, it states. So, So this is very interesting, very exciting news indeed. I'm very excited by this. I'm very pleasantly surprised by this news. I like to see the continuation of the Blu-ray and DVD catalog because it did mention DVD, which is very, very good indeed. Also, I do like this idea of Janus Films carrying on in terms of the label or the naming or the branding, Janus Contemporaries. And it's a reminder, too, that we have seen, of course, there is a close partnership, as we know, between Janus Films and the Criterion Collection already. However, this seems to be a type of, say, another way, another brand, another related brand or affiliated brand with regard to what the Criterion Collection is already doing in terms of physical media and home video, and also what Janus Films is doing in terms of distribution and film releases, and now entering into the fold with regard to, or re-entering into the fold in a manner of speaking, with regard to this new lineup under this label, which is very exciting news indeed. I suppose it reminds me of a number of things in the past which we have seen, and for those who know the Criterion Collection and Janus Films, and say the history from around, say, the late 80s, early 90s, and into the 2000s, you may recall, for example, the idea of having the clip series. Of course, we had a type of maybe a lineup within the lineup, as it were, which is also spine numbered with its own world, the Criterion Eclipse series, which is the DVD lineup. We also had other types of interesting sort of partnerships and different where the Criterion Collection was involved. For instance, we had earlier DVD releases, kind of special DVD releases of the Merchant Ivory films under this own kind of offshoot or its own separate DVD release slate. I just have some examples I've just pulled off of the shelf here. While these weren't necessarily quote-unquote officially part of the spine numbered catalog of the Criterion Collection physical media lineup, they do have a relationship with the Criterion Collection in terms of that partnership between Merchant Ivory and Criterion and HVE. And then also we have other examples too, like the Janus films, of what are referred to as children's classics. And so we have these DVDs as well as examples. Again, I've just pulled these off the shelf. And they have on the side here no spine numbers per se, but they have the Janus logo. And so these were also, again, maybe affiliated with or related to Janus Films and also the Criterion Collection. And also a type of, maybe not necessarily part of the Criterion Collection spine number catalog per se, but again, it's the idea of Janus Films entering into the physical media foray in a kind of direct way, all the way down to the use of the logo here. So, and then also reminds me too of, if you call here, excuse me, the back. Sorry, it's somewhat obstructed by the microphone. I apologize, but there's the 50 Years of Janus Films Essential Art House DVD disc big box set, which is right here, which is also a reminder too of Janus Films and the type of way in which physical media releases in the past have either celebrated or been directly a result of Janus Films' efforts in terms of the physical media foray or the physical media endeavors. So whether it's a kind of direct relationship under the auspices or under the umbrella of the Criterion Collection directly, or maybe as a type of offshoot of the Criterion Collection, or maybe more as a type of separate and alternate line, more under the name of Janus Films, etc. In any event, I think we have seen a number of examples in the past where the Criterion Collection physical media catalog and Janus Films have seen different ways to release titles beyond or outside or separate from the quote-unquote traditional Criterion Collection spine numbered catalog. So this is, I think, very, very exciting news in that way in terms of physical media collecting. We've also seen, of course, for those who know the other non-Criterion labels, we've seen other say, brands within brands, or maybe sub-labels or different offshoots under the umbrella brand of something here or something there. So we've seen this with a number of other Blu-ray or 4K labels elsewhere. So it's nice to see Criterion engage with that. Or Criterion and Janus engage with that partnership, or in that way, or a similar type of partnership. Again, we shall see the specifics as to how the collection either is quote unquote under the umbrella of what we understand as the Criterion Collection, or perhaps it's its own offshoot, more under what one might call the Janus Films umbrella. It seems like more the latter than the former from my general impression here, but we shall see. It seems also more to be closely linked maybe with the Criterion Channel, because there's a direct reference to Criterion Channel streaming service and the timing of the showing on the streaming service, and then the immediate release by under this label Janus Contemporaries. So maybe we're not necessarily talking about Criterion Collection physical media releases per se, but what we're talking about are Janus Contemporaries physical media releases directly tied to the release schedule under the Criterion Channel schedule. So there's that type of labeling intricacy that will be interesting to confirm when we actually get the items proper when they are released, again starting in the fall. And we shall see whether they're going to have spine numbers, their own spine numbers or not. I don't know. Those are always very interesting questions and details that we can always explore along the way when the releases do occur. So, and as far as the titles are concerned, I'm very, very happy about these. I'm very, very bad personally when it comes to watching contemporary films. So whenever there's the opportunity to to see these films again with, say, the emergence of various labels and sub-labels and offshoots and alternate brand labeling, etc., I think that's really wonderful. And so Janus Films entering into entering into it or re-entering into it in this way. Very exciting. So I'm very excited for these titles. I don't have the Criterion Channel at the moment, and so I haven't been able to catch up with these or any of other, say, recent releases. So this will be a wonderful opportunity for me to catch up, as well as just become more acquainted with these quote-unquote contemporary works, which I'm very excited for. And then also another opportunity for more celebration of the physical media catalog. Again, Criterion Channel, Criterion Collection, Janus Films, Janus Contemporaries, and other labeling and the sort. So it'll be interesting to see how these are specifically labeled and marketed going forward. So, but my understanding here is that this is Janus Contemporaries in connection with the Criterion Channel and Criterion Channel and Sideshow. So this is therefore perhaps not specifically Criterion Collection labeled per se, although of course we understand that there is already a very, very strong connection between Criterion as a general, in terms of Criterion's general positioning, and Janus Films in terms of its own general positioning as well. So, and then other key partners along the way, Sideshow, etc. So, very exciting news. Again, I'm still kind of caught off guard here, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to react when the actual item arrives. Maybe my feelings will be the same. Maybe I might have to tailor or adjust my comments when the actual items arrive, or perhaps by that time I'll be in the United States. So it'll be an interesting, later this year in the fall. So it'll be interesting to see what those releases look like. Very, very exciting indeed. Janus Contemporaries, and also to see, too, as the article suggests, a type of new chapter or developing chapter in Janus Films in this current climate of 2023 and beyond. This is very exciting news indeed. Very, very exciting. And I do want to say, too, the fact that we are dealing with Blu-ray and DVD releases, which is wonderful. I don't see any mentioning of 4K UHD releases, but that might be something that could occur a little bit later. We shall see. For me personally, I don't see that as being too much of an issue. Actually, I think it's really great that they're offering both Blu-ray and DVD options here for physical media formats, especially DVD. I love the DVD format. I think it's such a robust and very, very important format even now. Again, and also looking at the cost point, the prices are listed in the article there. So it looks like to be, I mean, these aren't the, I mean, of course we see DVDs and Blu-rays that are sold for maybe lower cost points, of course, depending on the titles and the release labels, etc. But for these prices, they look to be not unreasonable. So, and maybe we might see further markdowns or in sales or discounts, etc., depending on where you shop. So, if this is any indication, then these price points seem to be not unreasonable. And again, Blu-rays and DVDs, the DVD format is still robust. Blu-ray is still very, very important. Some might notice the lack of mention of 4K UHD, but I think for the time being, me personally, I don't see that as being an issue. I don't see that as being an issue. But we shall see going forward. But let's see. I think that is my general initial take on this announcement. Again, very exciting, very wonderful, and very, very pleasantly surprised by this. But how do you feel, my dear friends? Do you have any thoughts or comments on this? I'd love to hear what it is you have to say. Please feel free to let me know in the comments section below, and we shall go from there. But again, it is now late Thursday or Friday, wherever you are in the world. Again, if you're watching this fresh off the presses, as it were. And so if you are finding yourself at the end of the week winding down just in time for the weekend, or whatever the case may be, my dear friends, at the time of your watching this video, and thank you very much for watching this video, by the way. I very much appreciate it. Very much I do. Whatever time and place you find yourselves at the time of watching this video, my friends, I very much hope that all is well with you and that you continue to be safe and sound, and that you take care of all the things that are important to you, your friends, family, and loved ones. And once you've taken care of all those important matters and things that are happening in your various situations and the like, when you've taken care of all the important things, my dear friends, please, please continue to watch a lot of great, great, great movies. And I very much look forward to being able to speak with you again very soon. And until that occasion, my dear friends, stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.